Hello students, welcome to the Bridge course. I am Shailendra Darikar, Assistant Professor at AI SSMS, College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology. Let us start our next session on land resources. Before beginning the new session, let us revise the previous session in which we have learned energy resource such as renewable energy, examples water, soil, crop, forest and animal, non-renewable energy, examples petrol, copper, aluminum. Then we also learn alternative source of energy such as solar, biogas. Then we look into problems related to the energy resource and conservation of energy. Now let's see what are the objectives of today's session. So we are going to look into what is land resource, problem associated with land resource, land degradation, problem related to land degradation and conservation of land resource. Let's begin with the introduction. Land is naturally occurring finite resource. It provides the base for survival of living beings. It holds everything that constitutes territorial ecosystem. Demand of land increases day by day. Land resource refers to the natural assets found on the earth's surface that are valuable to the humans and other organisms. These resources include soil, water bodies, vegetation, minerals and energy resources like fossil fuel. Land resources provide the foundation for various human activities such as agriculture, forestry, mining, construction and settlement. They also supply ecosystem and biodiversity, play a crucial role in a sustainable life on Earth. Effective management of land resource is essential to ensure their sustainability use and to mitigate environmental degradation and resource depletion. Let us understand land as a resource. Land is a limited natural resource. Land forms like hills, valley, plains, river, basin and wetland include different resource generating areas that the people live in them depend on. Soil is an organized mixture of minerals, organic material, living organism, air and water. The roots of trees and grasses bind the soil. If forests are depleted or grassland overgrazed, the land becomes unproductive and wasteland is formed. Land is an important resource as it provides essential medium for development of agriculture, vegetation and forestry. In India, nearly 54% of land is used for agriculture. Many needs land for building homes, cultivating food, maintaining pasture for domestic animals, developing industrial to provide goods and supporting industries by creating towns and cities. Let us see what are the problems associated with land resource. Land degradation is the first problem in land resources. It can be defined as any changes in the land that reduce the condition or quality and hence its productivity or productive potential is reduced. It occurs whenever the natural balance in the landscape are changed by human activity through misuse or overuse. Land degradation occurs whenever the natural balance in the landscape are changed by human activity through misuse or overuse. Misuse of ecosystem leads to the loss of valuable soil through erosion by water, rainfall and wind. There are four principal factors leading to soil erosion, such as climate, soil characteristics, topography and ground cover. Land degradation. Mechanisms that initiate land degradation include physical process, decline in soil structure leading to crusting, compaction, erosion, desertification, anaerosion, environmental pollution and unsustainable use of natural resource. Chemical processes. Acidification, leaching, decreasing in caution, retention capacity and loss of nutrition. Biological process. Reduction in total biomass, carbon and decline in land biodiversity. Let us understand the major land degradation problem, which are wind erosion. Water erosion include mass movement of hill slopes. Dry land salinity. Irrigation induct salinity. Soil surface scalding. Water lodging. Soil acidity. Soil structure decline. Soil fertility decline or nutrient loss. Vegetation decline and degradation, such as weed infestation and lack of it. Tree regeneration, loss of flora and fauna and hence of biodiversity. Let's understand the causes for land degradation. First one is deforestation. Forest soil contain much organic matters. When a forest is cleared, the trees are burned, which leads to an immediate loss in organic matter. Cutting forest for fuel wood is another form of deforestation. Overgrazing. When insufficient amount of grass, litter are left for the soil organism died and the soil lose fertility. Agriculture. Over irrigation farmland leads to salinization, as the evaporation of water brings the salt to the surface of the soil on which crop cannot grow. Over irrigation also creates water lodging of the topsoil, so that the crop roots are affected and the crop deteriorates. So use of more and more chemical fertilizer poisons the soil and eventually the land becomes unproductive. Last one, industrialization. Industrialized and mining operations can pollute the soil. Let us understand soil erosion. Soil erosion means soil is washed away into streams, transported into rivers and finally lost to the sea. Soil support variety of crops. Misuse of an ecosystem leads to the loss of valuable soil through erosion by water, rainfall and wind. It is more severe in hill slopes, as the Himalayas and Western Ghats called an ecological sensitive areas. Deconstruction of natural vegetation covered by overfilling and overgrazing is the genesis of soil erosion. Water and wind are the principal cause for the removal of soil from one place to another. Now let us understand causes for soil erosion. When trees are cut or the soil plucked, as the plant roots bind the soil, their destruction allows the soil to be readily moved by the wind or flowing water. Distribution of the cycles involving human and nitrogen. Dependency on fertilizer rich in the nitrogen increase the nitrogen content of soil adjacent waterways. If fertilizers are not used, so soil fertility continue to decline. Let us understand factor affecting erosion. There are mainly three factors that will be affecting erosion. Natural factors. Heavy rain or weak soil, raindrops loosen soil particles and water transports them downhill. Vegetation depleted by drought. Raindrops are free to hit the soil, causes erosion during rainfall. Winds blow away the fine particle during drought. Steep slope. Gravity pulls water flow faster, soil creeps, slips or slumps downhill. Sudden climate change. Rain falls. Erosion increase expectedly rapidly as rainstorms become more severe. Drought. Water dries up and the soil becomes a play ball of winds. A sudden rain causes enormous damages. Changes winds. Area previously sheltered become exposed. Land degradation. Human induced factors. Changes of land. The land loses its covers, then its soil biota, porosity and moisture. Intensive farming. The plow, excessive fertilizer and irrigation damage the land, often permanently. House development. Soil is barred, massive earthwork to landscape, the subdivision soil is on the loose. Road construction. Roads are cut, massive earthwork, leaving scar behind. Not enough attention is paid to rain waterfall flow and maintain of roadsides. Landslides. A landslide or landslip is geological phenomena which include a wide range of ground movement such as rock falls, deep failure of slopes and shallow debris flow, which can occur in offshore, coastal and onshore environments. Although the action of gravity is the primary driving force for the landslide to occur, there are other contribution factors affecting original slope stability. Typically, preconditional factors build up specific subsurface conditions that make the area slope prone failure. Whereas the actual landslide often require a trigger before being released. Causes of landslide. Landslides are caused when the stability of a slope changes from a stable to an unstable condition. A change in the stability of a slope can be caused by a number of factors acting together or alone. Natural cause of landslide includes groundwater pressure acting to destabilize the slope, loss or absence of vertical vegetation structure, soil nutrition and soil structure, erosion of the toe of a slope by river or ocean waves, weakening of a slope through saturation of snow melt, glacier melting or heavy rain, earthquake adding load to fairly stable slope. Earthquake causes liquefaction, destabilization slope, volcano eruption. Human caused landslide which includes vibration from machinery or blasting, earthwork which alter the shape of a slope or which impose new load on an existing slope. In a shallow soil, the removal of deep roots vegetation that bind to bedrock. Construction, agriculture or forestry activity which change the amount of water which infiltrate the soil. Now let us understand desertification. It is a process by which an area becomes even more unproductive, less capable of retaining vegetation and progresses towards become a desert. This is often a cause of long-term disasters. Deforestation, overgrazing is an example of it, bringing about change in rainfall, temperature, wind velocity, which is the causes of it. It leads to soil erosion. Such as changes then lead to desertification of the area. Let us understand what are the causes of desertification. First one, overgrazing. By pounding the soil with their hooves, livestock, compact the subsets, increase the proportion of fine material and reduce the prolongation rate of the soil, thus encouraging erosion by wind and water. Grazing the collection of firewood reduce or eliminate plant that helps to bind the soil. Increase pollution. Livestock pressure on marginal lands accelerates desertification. Deforestation practices. Loss of vegetation result in the surface runoff as there are no plants to bind the soil and resulting in soil erosion and depletion of nutrition. Increase food production from marginal lands in arid or semi-arid area. Irrigation projects in area with no drainage facility. Shifting of sand done by windstorms. Effects. A major impact of desertification is biodiversity loss and loss of productivity capacity, such as transition from grassland dominated by perennial grass to one dominated by perennial shrubs. In extreme cases, it leads to the destruction of land ability to supply life. How to control desertification? Afforestation and planting of soil binding grasses can check soil erosion, floods and water lodging. Crop rotation and mixed crop improves the fertility of the soil. It could increase production which can sustain large population. Desertification can be checked by artificial bunds or mechanical measures covering that area with proper type of vegetation. Shifting of sand can be controlled by mulching, which is use of artificial protective covering. Salinity of soil can be checked by improved drainage. Saline soil can be recovered by leaching with more water, particularly when water table of the ground is not very high. Conservation of land resources. Land conservation is the process of protecting natural land and returning development land to its natural state. Because some land has only had minor disturbance and other land has been destroyed, a variety of techniques are needed to carry out land conservation. Some of the most common technique includes preservation, restoration, remediation, mitigation, land use planning. Land use planning creates the prerequisite required to achieve a type of land use which is sustainable, socially and environmentally compatible, socially desirable and economically sound. Land use planning should consider following principles. It should take into account traditional strategies and local environmental knowledge. Differentiating of stakeholder and gender approach are core principles in land use planning. The ecological, economical, technical, financial, social and cultural dimension of land use make it necessary to work with interdisciplinary approach. It should aim at finding solutions for present problems such as soil erosion, low yield and low income in rural area. Now let us go through what we have learned in this session. We have seen what is land resource. We have seen various problem associated with land resource. We also see land degradation, what is deforestation, overgrazing, agricultural and industrialization effect on land resources. We saw the problem related to land degradation. We also see how to conserve the land resources. Thank you.